Welcome back. For those unfamiliar, iceberg charts display trivia and more about a piece of media. The deeper it goes, the more obscure and disturbing the facts get. Today we look at the Dead Meat Iceberg, created by u/NeonJackie84. Dead Meat has been one of the most popular YouTube channels in the horror community since 2017. Time codes for each layer will be in the description. Before we begin, I should warn that there are potential spoilers for the following things. James A. Janice. James A. Janice is the main head of Dead Meat and the newest member of the YouTuber named James Club, which I just made up. He's the star of nearly every video. Kill count. The kill count is what Dead Meat is known for. Each kill count counts the kills in a horror, or horror-adjacent, piece of media. The piece of media in question is required to have a minimum of 2 kills. Whenever a kill happens, a graphic appears stating what number kill it is, who died, when it happened, and how it happened. At the end of each kill count, the host would tally up the kills, identify the gender distribution, and average out the rate each kill occurs based on the runtime. Though sometimes the average isn't useful, usually due to dozens of people dying in one scene or act. In later videos, the host will acknowledge when kill counts have the same average or gender breakdown as previous kill counts, announce when a kill count enters the top 10 highest kill counts, have a separate kill count for non-humanoid creatures within the same video, count the number of kills, of whatever degree, belonging to each killer, and, if it's a sequel, compare the numbers and kill methods to that of the previous films. Beyond counting kills, the videos also serve as a recap/review/analysis/reliable source of trivia of the piece of media. Chelsea. Chelsea Rebecca is James's wife and co-host. She has helped make videos, made a few cameos in the kill counts, and hosted a couple kill counts. Lucy the cat. Lucy the cat is James and Chelsea's cat. She's made multiple cameos in the kill count, though not as many as Chelsea. Personally, I'm a dog person, but Lucy seems nice. The Dead Meat Podcast. In the Dead Meat Podcast, James and Chelsea would either talk about a horror movie, talk about a topic related to a horror movie, interview a guest, or a combination of the three. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is the famed franchise about an undead serial killer named Jason Voorhees most of the time. To quote James, the criticisms of the series became the criticisms of the horror genre as a whole. Nearly every major horror trope came from these movies. Characters making dumb decisions, a slow-moving killer, gory deaths, characters dying after having sex and/or doing drugs, the virgin final girl, and the final scare before the credits all either came from or were popularized by this series. Even if you haven't seen a Friday the 13th film, you've likely seen a killer in a hockey mask parodied somewhere. Because of its major influence, the Friday the 13th kill counts were the first ever videos on Dead Meat. James credits Friday the 13th and its video game for helping Dead Meat become as big as it is now. Be good people. Be good people is one of James A. Janice's many catchphrases.
Be good people. Be good people. Be good people. Be good kitties.
The line originated from another series that we will talk about later.
Be good people.
Extended intro. The normal intro for most Dead Meat videos is this. However, some videos have an extended intro containing clips from various films of people saying dead meat.
What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Fun fact, that clip at the beginning from Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives is what gave James the idea for the name of the channel.
And of course, these campers have the line that I literally named this channel after. Like, it came from these lines.
What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
Title card. Title card is another catchphrase belonging to James A. Janice. He says it whenever a film shows its title card.
Title card! Title card! Title card! Yo, is that the bat signal back there?
When James counts a TV show, he does not say title card for every episode.
I think you've earned yourself a title card. But you only get one title card per season, okay? Don't expect me to title card each episode here.
Golden Chainsaw and Dull Machete. The Golden Chainsaw and Dull Machete are awards given to each movie on the kill count. The Golden Chainsaw is for the best kill, while the Dull Machete is for the worst kill. The numbers. I'm 95% sure that this is referring to another catchphrase.
Let's get to the numbers.
This is said in nearly every kill count. Over time, they started to be accompanied by a brief skit relating to the movie.
Let's find out and get to the numbers. Let's go ahead and get to the numbers. Let's find out and... Oh no.
The movie begins. Whenever James starts talking about the movie he's about to count, he says this phrase.
The movie begins with, wait, that's the beginning of the first one. It just has a new voiceover telling us the title of the movie we're about to watch. The movie begins with bona fide badass Robert Muldoon supervising the delivery of a metal crate to his crew of Jurassic Park employees on Isla Nublar. The movie begins with a car driving around the bend into a title card, making it a title card.
I'd argue that the movie begins isn't unique enough to be quotable, but eh. James and Chelsea's wedding. James and Chelsea got married in 2022. Much to the chagrin of Jamie Lee Curtis, their officiator was Heather Langenkamp.
Okay, if you need somebody to officiate.
Jamie will do it.
We have Heather Langenkamp doing it.
Okay, f*** you.
One of the things James and Chelsea were looking forward to was changing their catchphrase.
We are boyfriend and girlfriend, and we like to get scared together.
Yeah.
We're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we like to get scared together.
Yeah, we do.
We're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we like to get scared together.
We're engaged, and we like to get scared together. And we're married, and we like to get scared together. Oh, I almost bungled the big line that everyone's been waiting for.
Thanksgiving 3. 2009's Thanksgiving is about a killer foul-mouthed turkey. 3 years later, a sequel was released, titled Thanksgiving 3. And yes, it's called Thanksgiving 3, not Thanksgiving 2. It's supposed to be a joke about how the plot revolves around the turkey searching for the last remaining copy of Thanksgiving 2. Thanksgiving 3 is apparently so bad that James refused to do a kill count. Until 2021. Skelly bastards. James has chosen not to put skeletons on the kill count because they usually don't have names, and they could be someone from a previous movie he already counted. James has nicknamed these cadavers Bastard Skellies.
No bastard skellies. No skin, no service.
Yeah, skeletons. They're not people.
They're just dust at that point.
This rule also applies to random body parts that still have skin on them. Cujo and Bruce on the kill count. In most kill counts, James doesn't count animals, though he does sometimes give humanoid creatures that aren't human a separate category and non-humanoid creatures a separate kill count within the same video.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully count a kill on the kill count. For instance, number 1, no animals. They have to be humanoid.
Boo, boo. Dogs are basically family.
Where do I draw the line? Squirrels? Bugs? All right?
James has made an exception for 2 movies, Jaws and Cujo. The reason for both movies is that the animal being killed is the main villain of the movie. Though for Jaws' case, James decided to only count Bruce and none of the sharks from the sequels. Some of you might be wondering why the shark from Jaws is named Bruce. Well, the answer is pretty simple. The director, Steven Spielberg, has a lawyer named Bruce. Finding Nemo also named their own shark after him.
Name's Bruce.
Does anyone else find it funny that Mike and Sean are in all 4 Jaws movies, but they're never played by the same actor? Kill recounts. Due to Dead Meat's drastic improvement of quality, James decided that he should remake his older videos. James is making sure that he makes plenty of recounts, but is also making sure that his channel doesn't just become solely recounts. They Talk. They Talk is a discontinued series created by James A. Janice and Zoran Argavoyich. The series takes famous slasher films with silent killers and imagines what would happen if they, well, talked.
Ugh, women. Can't live with them, might as well kill them.
Likely due to repeated copyright claims, They Talk ended after 5 videos. However, in July of this year, Dead Meat announced that They Talk Season 2 has officially been greenlit. Though it will probably take a while to come out due to something we'll talk about later. Unedited Patreon videos. Some of the movies counted on the kill count are incredibly violent. So violent that YouTube gives James the old demonetization. When this happens, the best case scenario is James getting a sponsor. The worst case scenario is James having to censor the beautiful gore and uncensored versions being exclusive to Patreon. Though sometimes he releases explicit versions on YouTube unlisted. All of them are neatly organized in a playlist created by David Bayadk. Just pretend I pronounced that correctly. What the hell is One Piece doing here? Celebrity interviews. Dead Meat has gained so much popularity that James and Chelsea have been able to interview a lot of horror celebrities. Sometimes it's just for fun, other times it's to promote an upcoming movie. Dead Meat merch. Dead Meat has a store on Rooster Teeth where you can buy a wide variety of merchandise. Some of the items are limited. Special awards. Yeah, I'm combining these two. Sometimes James will create an award exclusive to a specific franchise. The examples provided in this iceberg are the Platinum Punji Sticks, the Rusty Mousetrap, and the Diamond Dino. The Platinum Punji Sticks and Rusty Mousetrap are for the best and worst traps in a Saw movie. The Diamond Dino is for the best dinosaur sequence in a Jurassic Park movie. It doesn't have to be an action scene, if you were wondering. Avengers Infinity War prank. On April 1st, 2019, Dead Meat released what appeared to be an Avengers Infinity War kill count, celebrating the release of Endgame in 25 days. But, as expected, this was an April Fool's Day prank. Less than 30 seconds in, James said gotcha, explained that there will never be an Avengers Infinity War kill count, and kindly requested for people to stop asking him for one. However, the video was a kill count, specifically of Boy Meets World Season 5, Episode 17, and then there were Sean. James's reasons for not covering the movie people wanted was explained a year earlier on Twitter. Avengers Infinity War is not a horror movie. Since only horror movies can be covered on the kill count, Infinity War can't be covered. Even if he did cover it, half of the universe dies. not the Earth, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. How the hell is James supposed to count that? Okay, maybe through Google, but still. James also stated that Logan, Deadpool, and even Joker can't be on the kill count. Despite being R-rated and having a decent amount of kills, they aren't horror. However, this didn't mean that a Marvel or DC movie will never be on the kill count. In 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was released. The movie is considered a horror film by Wikipedia, and has a solid amount of kills. While James and Chelsea did a commentary on the movie, due to many plot points of the film revolving around events from previous MCU films that aren't horror, James decided not to cover it. But on October 28th, 2022, James finally did the first ever MCU kill count. Unless you count Slither.
And speaking of Guardians, Slither is the closest you're ever gonna get to an MCU movie on the kill count, since the worm parasites from Slither were featured in the Collector's Museum. But hey, what the f isn't in the MCU at this point?
Werewolf by Night was allowed because you could watch it without watching any other MCU movie and you wouldn't be lost. Hopefully the upcoming Blade movie will be standalone enough to get a kill count. Though James stated multiple times that he's not really into Marvel.
I hope nobody was upset about this silly little prank I did. I'm sorry if you really want to see me talk about Infinity War. I'm just not a huge Marvel fan. I wouldn't be able to do those movies justice. I have a burning passion for horror movies, and I use that to make the kill counts. I don't have that passion for superhero movies. I'm sorry.
Maybe we can get a certain fellow, who we will talk about later, who does have that passion for superhero media, to cover superhero movies that are also horror. But who's to say? James is a fan of WWE. Both James and Chelsea are massive fans of WWE wrestling. So much so, you can actually see them in this clip. Thanks to their fame, they were able to get some wrestlers to appear on their show. James and Chelsea also created a virtual rumble featuring icons of horror. I find it funny that some of the wrestlers are just normal humans, while others are creatures with supernatural powers. James's love for The Thing. James stated that his favorite horror movie changes from time to time. But as of right now, it's The Thing. Specifically, the 1982 remake about an alien that can shapeshift into any living thing. Though James once stated that Scream is a contender. Capture count. Explaining this one requires me to explain some important scenes from Krampus, so spoilers and shit. The film follows a kid named Max who usually loves Christmas. But his annoying relatives are coming over and he's almost old enough to find out that Santa isn't real in the world of this movie. After his cousins have a fight with him about Santa, Max declares that he hates his family and Christmas, going as far as tearing up his letter to Santa. But the pieces of the letter do a Mary Poppins and accidentally summon a monster from the underworld named Krampus. Krampus is basically the anti-Santa Claus. Instead of giving to the nice, Krampus takes from the naughty. At least that's how he views it. Krampus and his boys then attack the family, taking them all one by one. Near the end of the movie, Max is the last survivor. After taking his would-be final victim of the night, Krampus hands Max a bell with his name on it to remember him by. But before Team Krampus leaves, Max pleads with Krampus to bring his family back. Max even offers to trade himself for his family. After Team Krampus laughs at him, Krampus drops Max into a pit that presumably leads to the underworld. But then Max wakes up. It's Christmas morning, and his family is alive and well downstairs. Max then receives a gift containing a sinister surprise. It's the bell Krampus gave Max. This is both a Polar Express reference and an indication that Krampus's Night of Terror might have been real. Max's family looks at the bell with fear and confusion in their eyes, as audio from earlier in the film plays. We then zoom out of the house and out of one of the many snow globes owned by Krampus. Now, there are multiple ways to interpret this ending. Unfortunately for us, writer-director Michael Dougherty refuses to explain what's actually happening.
But the fun thing about the ending, when we're talking about this, and we're still in the wake of the film's release, it's still in theaters out there, and so it's kind of fun to hear about people's reactions. There's so much debate about the ending.
Oh yeah,
and
I love it.
We have a blood oath to never
yeah
talk about what it actually is. Because it's interesting that people's interpretations of it, there seem to be two schools of thought, which are the two that we predicted, which is, one, that the family is alive and fine, and Max gets the bell, and they're reminded that it all actually happened. Everyone seems to agree on that. That the bell indicates that everything actually happened. Mm-hmm. And I think it's safe for us to say, yes, that much is definite. It all happened. But the debate seems to be this next little beat about whether the family is alive and Krampus is now just keeping an eye on them in this snow globe, or whether they are actually trapped in hell for eternity where it's Christmas every day. And I like
leaving it open.
I know.
I like that people...
Because we like with people.
Yeah. And it's a good litmus test, for people. It's like, where do you fall on that line? Like, what is your outlook on it? Is
the glass
half full or empty? It's your cynicism or optimism.
Completely.
In that moment.
Like, that's, honestly, I feel like that's the best way to look at it. It's like, if you're a cynic and you want a dark, messed up ending.
There you go.
Where you have a perfectly nice family, which should have earned its redemption, is now trapped in hell, then here you go. Or if you prefer the idea that the family is fine and they're just going to go about their lives with the knowledge that they are being watched and that there are darker, greater, more ancient forces keeping tabs on them, that's fine too.
The happy ending is more likely to be canon since the tie-in comic, Krampus the Shadow of St. Nicholas, ends with everybody, including the people who died, waking up from what they believe to be a dream. But each of them receives a Krampus bell of their own, indicating that Krampus's reign of terror was real. In this case, Krampus isn't that different from the three ghosts of Christmas. He's only there to scare and teach life lessons rather than kill. In fact, in the comic, Krampus actually Scrooges a rich guy named Tad Ferguson. Despite all this, Grandma Omi's family is still captured, or dead, by the end of the movie. Either way, most of these people weren't killed and brought back to life. They were captured and maybe released. So for the kill count, instead of counting kills, James counted captures, still not counting animals. The awards were the Golden Santa Sack and the Sour Candy Cane. James didn't count the postman who froze to death since he wasn't captured. Though if Shadow of St. Nicholas is canon, he's still alive since this guy who we saw freeze to death is still kicking at the end of the comic. By the way, does anyone else notice how many Christmas movies have postmen in them? The capture count would make an unexpected return 2 1/3 years later with Evil Bong. Major spoilers, by the way, for both Evil Bong and Krampus. The captor this time was, you guessed it, an evil bong. If you smoke from the bong, you will start to get sleepy and your soul or something will be sucked into the bong. Then a stripper will tempt you and kill you. After the death, you will be trapped in the bong. However, whatever item is attached to you when you smoke from the bong will enter the bong with you. At the end of the movie, Jimbo enters the bong with an explosive device and blows up the bong's soul or something. Unlike Krampus, there's no ambiguity here. Everyone who got captured by the bong is alive and well after it's defeated. Except for Jimbo, I guess because he was caught in the explosion. Also, Jimbo mentioned earlier in the movie that the bong killed all his friends back when he owned it, so does that mean that they're back too? And when a soul is trapped in the bong, their bodies are dead, judging by the pulse, so does that mean that if Jimbo's friends come back, they will wake up buried alive? I don't know, maybe I'm reading too deep into this stupid movie about a killer bong. Anyway, the awards this time around were the Brilliant Bong and the Bow-Guarded Blunt. Whoa, I just realized that James can cover Monster House with the capture count. F*** yes! Social media accounts. This is referring to the Dead Meat social media accounts that exist. They do exactly what you'd expect. r/deadmeatjames. r/deadmeatjames is the Dead Meat subreddit. It's, again, what you'd expect. Something of note here is that you're not allowed to request kill counts on the subreddit. In order to do that, you have to email James. Drugs. Look away if you don't like needles. Drugs is another one of James A. Janice's catchphrases. He says it whenever someone takes drugs in a movie, whether it's willingly or not.
But in no time at all, he's getting ambushed by a pig head and knocked out with delicious drugs. And now he's gone, hidden under the bed like so many monsters, before the hospital staff injects Helen with some calming drugs. The frozen Jason falls over and cuts off the arm of this Azrael kid, but this the future, motherfuckers, and the future's got the best drugs.
The catchphrase is actually a reference to an episode of The Simpsons. Something spooky. Spooky is yet another catchphrase. James says it whenever something spooky happens.
Todd leaves his brother George to go check on Alex, and Clear opts to remove herself voluntarily, since things are getting so spooky. Nice work, Stranger Things. That was spooky. Spooky! Which was filmed in '84, had a premiere in '86, didn't reach the US until '87 or '88, so yeah, it's one of those.
3D, whoa. Whenever there's a moment in a 3D movie where something comes very close to the camera, James says another catchphrase.
Let's 3D into a title card. Yeah, saw 3D. Whoa, now we're down the drain.
Hey, buddy, I'm a captive mammal. A 3D captive mammal. Whoa.
They also come via 3D wood shards. Whoa.
Kinda reminds me of these moments from Decker Shadow and YMS. Kill Count Records. James A. Janice created a belt for the Kill Count Champion. It's given for whatever kill count has the most amount of kills. The first ever kill count, being Friday the 13th, had 10 kills. Friday the 13th Part 3 topped this with 12 kills. The final chapter would top this with 14 kills. This would again be topped by Friday the 13th A New Beginning with 22 kills. Jason Goes to Hell the final Friday then took the champion title with 24 kills. Though when James made the recount, he had to retract one due to director Adam Marcus claiming that Creighton Duke survived. I like Creighton Duke, but he looks pretty dead here. And the series is being rebooted, so why? Regardless, Jason would take the championship title from himself again, with Jason X having 25 kills. Though the recount had 88 kills thanks to the Solaris victims finally being counted. By the way, since Jason X is technically the 10th Friday the 13th film, and X is the Roman numeral for 10, I think we should be calling it Jason 10 rather than Jason X. Stephen King's The Mist would then take the title with 34 kills. The title would be taken again by Killer Clowns from Outer Space's 40 kills. The Belko Experiment more than doubled the previous champion with 84 kills. The Purge election year would bring us to the triple digits with 116 kills. Most of them are unknown background bodies. The first Purge then beat election year thanks to its 133 kills. Within 19 minutes, Final Destination beat the first Purge with 292 kills. This is mostly thanks to the plane crash, though is it really a crash if it just explodes in the air? The record was broken again thanks to Zombieland Double Tap having 376 kills. As of 2023, the kill count champion is Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 with, I shit you not, 4,295 kills. Though most of the kills happen in a prank that we see 5 seconds of, and the only reason we know the number is because it was mentioned by one of the characters. Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 will probably remain the kill count champion for the rest of Dead Meat's life. I don't even think the next Purge or Final Destination movie will top it. Maybe another zombie movie? Or a TV show. Wait a minute, I just realized something. When a TV show ends, can the host just combine all of the kills from the previous seasons? Kill count requests in comments. People have requested kill counts in the comments. However, James A. Janice does not answer requests in the comments.
Comment requests get ignored. Email them, people!
John Wick. John Wick is an action movie franchise about the titular assassin played by Keanu Reeves. Due to it not being a horror movie, it cannot be on the kill count. There's still a lot of requests for it, though. By the way, later in the iceberg it says requests for John Wick since day one, but I'm not gonna mention this and that because that's kinda redundant. I'd like to take this moment to honor the recently deceased Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick played Charon in all 4 John Wick films. May he rest in peace. Background props. In every kill count video, James has props in the background. While there are many iconic horror props throughout the entire set, James makes sure to have an entire section of the set dedicated to props related to whatever movie he's counting. Some films require him to be creative since not every horror film has a wide variety of props and costumes. Upload schedule. Podcasts are on every other Wednesday, and kill counts are usually released every Friday. Though sometimes there's a bonus kill count on Sunday. Occasionally, a schedule is released saying what's coming up. Practical Folks. Practical Folks is a channel that James and Chelsea used to run before Dead Meat took off in 2017. The channel followed James, Chelsea, and/or others watching things, usually while drunk.
Eat it, bitch!
It kind of feels like a precursor to Rousel's We Get Drunk and Watch X. Practical Folks hasn't had a video uploaded since 2019. Cut Comparison. The Cut Comparison is another show hosted by James A. Janice. In said show, 2 cuts of a horror movie are compared and contrasted. Unfortunately, due to low viewership, the Cut Comparison has been inactive since May of 2021. Zoran. Zoran R. Gavoich is Dead Meat's longtime editor, recent producer, and recent writer of They Talk. He's also noticeably taller than James. Gavoich was assigned as a temporary replacement host for whenever James needed to take a break. Even when James and Chelsea are present, Zoran is still able to have plenty of kill counts. One of them breaking a record and being the fictional death of him. Beyond Dead Meat, Zoran has his own channel titled Low Bar Comedy, works for the YouTube channel 5 Second Films, and voices the Blue Bunny.
I'm a man who is currently the voice of Blue Bunny Ice Cream. Blue Bunny, we make fun!
James appearing in music videos. James has appeared in multiple music videos, usually for horror songs. Most famously, he got killed in the music video for On and On. The kill graphic actually appears in the video itself. Doom and other gaming live streams. Sometimes James or Chelsea stream themselves playing a video game, usually on Twitch. The Doom games were streamed quite a few times, mainly due to Doom being one of James's favorite games. Yet there is still no kill count of either Doom movie, probably because they're bad. Editing live streams. Sometimes James live streams himself editing videos. You don't need any other explanation. James A. Chinese. This is likely referring to a meme posted by u/AlexyTran. Or this book I found on Amazon. Dead Meat U2s. U2s is a brand that sells merchandise from popular IPs, including figures from the internet. Dead Meat created and sold their own U2s, that are now sold out. Don't know if they'll make more. James's other jobs. Before Dead Meat, and presumably Practical Folks, James edited videos for editing company Fullscreen. He was usually sent by Fullscreen to Fox in order to help with their content, including this cooking tutorial with Gordon Ramsay. Jeepers Creepers is a horror movie franchise about a creature of unknown origin. Despite numerous requests, James stated that he won't cover any of the Jeepers Creepers films for one reason. Victor Salva. For those unaware, Victor Salva is the director of the first 3 Jeepers Creepers movies. Before Jeepers Creepers, he directed a 1989 movie titled Clown House. During the filming of Clown House, the main star of the film, Nathan Forrest Winters, was molested by Victor Salva. Salva also filmed himself doing this. After Salva was caught, authorities gained the right to search his home. More child pornography was found in Salva's residence. Despite the severity of the crime, Victor Salva was only sentenced to 3 years, and he only served a year and 3 months. And he still had a career after that. Due to all of these events, and Salva owning the rights to the Jeepers Creepers franchise, James stated that he will never cover the Jeepers Creepers films. However, during a live stream, James stated this.
Colleen Gaw asks, are there any movies I've initially said I would never cover on the kill count that I've come around to? Not like films made by still living abusers. Fuck you, Victor Salva. Roman Polanski, I'll cover your movies when you're dead. I mean that.
If anyone's curious as to what James thinks of the Jeepers Creepers films, he once stated that he hasn't seen the first movie since he was a kid. What's your favorite scary movie? What's Your Favorite Scary Movie is a series where James interviews a celebrity about their favorite scary movie. The series is named after a line from Scream.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Wait a minute, why are so many of them wrestlers? Dead meat name references. Since dead meat is a common phrase as well as the name of the channel, James, or someone else, often encounters the name of their channel appearing in a movie.
They get back to the RV site and find the trailer gone, causing Jonesy to name drop his favorite YouTube channel.
We're dead meat.
Jason pisses off a group of 80s punks, which gets them so excited they break the fourth wall and speak to their favorite YouTube host.
You're dead meat.
I am. Thanks for being a fan, guys.
His secretary Jean enters, asking if he needs help on his crossword puzzle. Ooh, what's an 8-letter word for your favorite YouTube channel? No, not bone meat, you hot idiot.
James was going to cover dead meat. As a celebration of the channel turning 2, James was originally planning on covering the 2004 zombie film Dead Meat, for obvious reasons. However, James abandoned these plans once he watched the movie and hated it. He called it a student film version of 28 Days Later, so Demonic Toys was covered instead. Crypt TV Collabs. Crypt TV is a YouTube channel full of horror short films all in the same universe and other horror shit. James has partnered with them multiple times. Despite James appearing in a short film, he never gets killed. Supercuts. Sometimes Dead Meat uploads a supercut of awards, running gags, things that happen a lot, and or etc. James's pronunciation of dinosaur. James usually pronounces the word dinosaur as dinosaur.
They gear up with all their ropes and adventure hats, then follow Juno into the wilderness like she was John Hammond leading them into a dinosaur park. For Day, Romero had a composer in John Harrison, who was actually just on the kill count. Dude played Screwdriver Zombie in Dawn. He also scored Creepshow, directed a miniseries version of Dune, and wait, what the f***? Wrote Disney's Dinosaur? What was this guy's life?
Lexi Cross is at her home, Hackensack's mayoral mansion. Her mayor mom is Michelle Cross, her dopey dad is Nathan, and her younger sister is Caroline, who's been psyched about Chucky ever since seeing him at the talent show. She's already drawing Chucky fan art. I wonder if she could draw him on a dinosaur.
It's supposed to be an impression of Mr. DNA from the Jurassic Park franchise.
It features a cartoon character named Mr. DNA, voiced by Greg Burson, who forever influenced my pronunciation of the word dinosaur.
Dinosaurs, dinosaur, dinosaur, dinosaur.
Friends with MatPat. MatPat is the host of The Game Theorist, The Film Theorist, The Food Theorist, and most recently, The Style Theorist. He usually talks about a theory relating to a video game, movie, food, clothing, or a combination of some of these. MatPat and James A. Janice are also friends who have collaborated before. James appeared on Film Theory when MatPat was trying to figure out how to kill Freddy Krueger, while MatPat was in an episode of What's Your Favorite Scary Movie, where they talked about the Blair Witch Project. Hiatuses. Sometimes James will go on a hiatus. It's usually during January because seasonal depression. Supercuts are often released during this time. Unfortunately, this year, the reason for the hiatus was James's father, James Bernard Janice Jr., dying of lung cancer. Rest in peace. Movies with no golden chainsaw or dull machete. Sometimes the movies on the kill count aren't given a golden chainsaw or dull machete. The reasons for this happening can range from the other kills not being good, the other kills not being bad, or James thinking that it'd be weird to give a death award to a child. YMS would sing a completely different tune.
I hope the kid dies, but we know that's not going to happen. I mean, obviously kill the child, right? So
either kill the kid or don't put them in the movie. Make them die a horrible death.
If they don't kill a single fucking kid in this movie, which of course they won't. Not even gonna expect it. They're gonna have lore, they're gonna have a flashback, and it's gonna be like, oh, the kids, they died. And they're not gonna show the kid's death, and it'll be like, but the kids died in the flashback.
Dead Meat Shorts. Dead Meat Shorts is an unofficial Dead Meat highlights channel. It's not just highlights from the YouTube channel. Dead Meat Shorts also uploads videos from Dead Meat's social media accounts, and clips related to Dead Meat from other channels. Dead Meat actually acknowledged the channel a couple times.
James is really skipping leg day, Dead Meat Shorts. F you, dude.
Horror-adjacent movies on the kill count. One of the biggest rules of the kill count is that the media being counted has to be horror. However, horror-adjacent movies are allowed. Examples of this are monster franchises like Tremors, Jurassic Park, and Gremlins, horror comedies like Shaun of the Dead, The Hunt, Zombieland, and the Boy Meets World Halloween special, and Mortal Kombat because he wanted to. Also, the games are horror and kind of had a big impact on the video game industry. On the next kill count trailers. Sometimes there's a fully edited trailer for the next kill count, either as an individual video or at the end of another kill count. With permission from James, Dead Meat Shorts takes the trailers that appear at the end of another kill count and uploads them by themselves on his own channel. Switching kill count sets. Over the course of Dead Meat's life, there have been 5 kill count sets. The original 2017 set looks like this, the 2018 set looks damn near identical, the 2020 set in James and Chelsea's new house looks similar but has a painted wall instead of a curtain, the short-lived 2022 set in Zorn's basement is intentionally designed to look like the older sets, and the 2022 set, which is also the current set, is the biggest and most unique out of all of them. Halloween 2018 is the most viewed video on the channel. Exactly what it says. The most viewed video on Dead Meat is the Halloween 2018 kill count. While on the topic of the new Halloween movies, does anyone remember when Officer Hawkins was counted on the kill count only for Halloween Kills to reveal that he was still alive? Somehow? And then Sandra was counted on the Halloween Kills kill count, and she was revealed to still be alive. I wonder what would happen if they make a sequel to Halloween Ends. Would another person be revealed to still be alive? Besides Michael Myers, of course. Guests on podcast. Sometimes on the Dead Meat podcast, James and Chelsea would have a guest. Usually a celebrity that's in the horror industry. Freaky numbers gag. At the end of the freaky kill count, James is attacked by the podcast psychopath, played by Chelsea Rebecca. Their bodies are switched, and James proceeds to do the numbers in the body of podcast. After the numbers, James reclaims his body and the video ends normally. The reason for all these body-swapping shenanigans is that Freaky is about a girl who switches bodies with a serial killer. Stuffed dinosaur on kill count. Wes Craven's New Nightmare follows Heather Langenkamp playing a fictional version of herself. Heather is being haunted by a demon taking the form of the main antagonist of the franchise that she's the star of. She now must figure out how to defeat the demon. In the kill count for Wes Craven's New Nightmare, for some reason, James included Dylan's stuffed dinosaur Rex. Despite being counted, he's not included with the other kills. Rex isn't alive or possessed by a serial killer or anything. He's just a normal stuffed dinosaur. My best guess as to why James did this is it's a joke. Though throughout the movie there is a reoccurring bit where Dylan states that Rex protects him from Freddy. So maybe that has something to do with it. Or I'm reading too deep into it. In any case, Rex is now a reoccurring prop on the kill count set. Saw sequel subtitles. Saw 2 through 6 were all numbered, each with a Roman numeral and no subtitle, similar to the Rocky movies. Saw 3D doesn't have a subtitle within the actual movie, though the posters all call it the final chapter. Is there a single product out there that advertises itself as the final chapter that actually stayed the final chapter? Maybe Halloween Ends, but even producer Jason Blum doesn't think its finality will last. Regardless, Dead Meat thought that the original Saw sequels needed subtitles in order to help differentiate them. Here are all the titles. Saw 2, Nerve Gas House Party. Saw 3, How Slow Can You Go? Saw 4, Race to an Action. Saw 5, The Hoffman Cometh. Saw 6, the healthcare one. And Saw 3D, Liar Liar, Wife on Fire. Kind of weird that you'd spoil the end of the movie in the title, but okay. He didn't do this for Jigsaw or Spiral, probably because their titles are already distinct enough. Though he might do it for Saw 10. If you want to know more about Saw, check out my video on the Saw iceberg. James gives up on Rec 3. Rec is a Spanish mostly found footage franchise about a demonic zombie virus. James's kill count rules for this franchise, as well as any other zombie movie, say that whenever somebody gets infected, they're put on the kill count. Since the Rec zombies aren't undead, the infected version of them getting killed doesn't count as a kill. Well, when James counted Rec 3, Genesis, things became difficult. The movie takes place at a wedding reception. Since wedding receptions usually have a lot of guests, there are a lot of infected people. But since it's hard to give 161 characters something important to do in an hour and 20 minutes, most of the infected people are just nameless extras in the background. This isn't something James hasn't dealt with before. After all, the Purge movies broke kill count records thanks to the large amount of background bodies. However, in a Purge movie, the characters are usually traveling to multiple different locations. In Rec 3, every kill happens at the same location, being the wedding reception. So whenever we see an infected person, it can be difficult to know if they've already been counted in a previous scene. Thus, James decided that nothing matters, and to just try his best. Rec 4 Apocalypse had the same problem, though not quite to the same extent. Instead of a big-ass wedding reception, it's a big-ass boat a quarter of the size. Signed Michael Myers mask. Michael Myers is the masked main antagonist of the Halloween franchise. Again, most of the time. One of the most famous props on the Dead Meat set is a signed Michael Myers mask. The signatures on the mask are from nearly every actor and or stuntman who played Michael Myers. Unfortunately, actor George P. Wilbur, Michael Myers from Halloween 4 and 6, passed away this year. Rest in peace. Love for Michigan.
Not Michigan!
Both James and Chelsea grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Thanks to this, James gets excited as hell whenever Michigan is so much as mentioned in a movie.
You may have, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen that I tweeted about this movie taking place in Detroit but not filming there, and then the director replied to me and said we did film there, and then I was like, well, I don't want this guy to dislike me. So I DM'd Zach.
Yeah, they've
Krieger.
been DMing each other.
Yeah,
it's all very
good.
cordial and cute.
I was like, hey, man, I had just read an article saying that you had recreated it. And he was like, We did, but we also shot some stuff in Detroit. I think his exact words were, I don't want people to think that we're total phonies, just partial phonies.
Yeah. Rest in flames, gremlins. We hardly knew most of you, but you were probably little bastards. Oh, except that guy. Go blue!
Tara saying that she's from Michigan as her fake,
Yeah, as soon as she said that, we were like,
yeah, that's where we're from.
James has technically covered a superhero movie. As stated before, James isn't really into Marvel.
Now, it's pretty well known that I'm not a fan or follower of Marvel or the MCU. It's just not for me, and that's fine. And it's fine if you like it, alright? But that's why I won't cover most MCU movies. It'd be insulting to the real fans. I cover horror movies to the best of my ability in terms of research, and there is a lot of background knowledge behind Marvel movies that I just don't have the time or interest to learn.
While Marvel isn't the only company that makes superhero movies, I'm pretty sure James's reasoning for not liking Marvel also applies to DC and other companies. However, in 2019, James finally covered a superhero movie, being Brightburn. It's a movie that asks, what if Superman was evil? Superman Red Sun. More famously, James covered Werewolf by Night in 2022, thanks to it being only loosely connected to the MCU. Convention videos. There are multiple videos in which someone from the Dead Meat team goes to a convention, usually horror-related. At the convention, they do all kinds of convention shenanigans. They interview people. That's about it, but they're neat. Ranking videos / top 10s. Dead Meat sometimes ranks the movies in a horror franchise or makes a top 10 about them. The top 10 is usually the top 10 kills in blank. Paranormal pool parties. The Paranormal Activity franchise is full of found footage films that range from tightly connected to not connected at all. When James and Chelsea reviewed the Paranormal Activity movies for the podcast, they had a theme for all of them: the Paranormal Pool Party. What's the connection? There was a pool in the second movie, and alliteration. The paranormal pool parties also serve as a reminder that even though I am technically 4 inches taller than James, he could beat the shit out of me if he wanted to. James on TikTok. Again, this one is pretty self-explanatory. James has a TikTok. It's about what you'd expect. I'd follow him, but I took a blood oath to never make a TikTok account, so my hands are tied. Sporkle Livestream. Sporkle is a website full of quizzes created by anyone with an account. One time, James live-streamed himself doing a Dead Meat Sporkle quiz. Willy's Wonderland kill count. Willy's Wonderland follows Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is hired to clean up Willy's Wonderland, a magical Chuck E. Cheese-esque place for kids and grown-ups alike where fantasy and fun come to life. But while cleaning the place, he discovers that the animatronics are actually haunted by evil spirits. Cage must now fight for his life.
We're not gonna sit here and pretend it's not a big-ass elephant in the room.
What the is going on?
This is what the is going on.
Yeah, this story sounds a lot like Five Nights at Freddy's, the popular video game franchise also about haunted animatronic animals from a chain of pizza establishments. The similarities don't end there. Throughout the movie, someone is trying to burn the establishment down. This happens multiple times in the FNAF franchise, and the killer is possessing one of the animatronic suits. Supposedly, they even had to change the animatronics due to them being too similar to FNAF characters. And before you ask, this movie was written before we knew about Montgomery Gators, so this Gator's clean. Despite all of this, the director claims that he was inspired by Boomtown and creepy shopping mall Easter bunnies. An actual FNAF movie has been in development for nearly a decade and is finally coming out this year. Due to the popularity of One Night at Willy's, many people requested a kill count. Unfortunately, a bunch of other Willy's Wonderland videos received unjustified copyright strikes. Unlike copyright claims, strikes will affect the entire channel instead of just the video. 3 strikes will delete your channel forever. While James was able to cover the other FNAF ripoff ? Due to the danger of receiving a strike, James was unable to make a kill count for Willy's Wonderland. Until November of 2022! Thanks to writer Geo Parsons, James was able to make the kill count without any worry of a copyright strike, even if James didn't like the movie. By the way, if anyone wants to see a Five Nights at Freddy's iceberg, Average T made 3. One about FNAF as a whole, one about Security Breach, and the newest one about the upcoming movie. All 3 are excellent. Gorillaz references in Romero films. George A. Romero is the director of the original Of the Dead series. I'd explain what that is, but you know what it is. Zombies and shit. During the kill counts for the first 3 Romero films, James would sometimes point out a sound that was later used by the band Gorillaz.
Roger successfully blocks one entrance, but while he's hot wiring a second truck for round 2, some zombies show up without him noticing, even though they're blaring the intro track from Demon Days. Dope. The bird lands, and Sarah heads through desolation with Miguel, who looks for people while singing M1A1 by Gorillaz.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Is anyone there?
Train to Busan copyright strike. Train to Busan follows a bunch of people trapped on a bullet train during a zombie outbreak. In 2021, a kill count was made, only to receive a copyright strike. After a lot of elbow grease, the video was put back up. This event was one of many factors that led to James deciding to put off doing a kill count for the sequel, Peninsula, and even Squid Game, Terrifier uncut on YouTube. Terrifier is a grindhouse-style slasher about a clown named Art murdering the shit out of people. Due to how violent the movie is, there are 2 versions of this kill count. Besides the intro, the only difference between the 2 is how explicit they are. This is nothing new. James often puts a less explicit kill count on YouTube and a more explicit kill count on Patreon. This way he avoids demonetization on YouTube and still makes money off of the more explicit one. What's not a common occurrence is putting both versions on YouTube for free, though the more explicit version is unlisted. In order to watch the more explicit version, you have to go to the less explicit version and click the link in the description. My best guess as to why James did this is that Terrifier is a film known for its brutal gore and having almost nothing else to offer. Made WatchMojo's best YouTube channels of the year twice. WatchMojo is a soulless YouTube channel run by a company that releases like 10 videos a day every day about whatever's popular. I'm sorry, but I hate this channel. Screen Rant at least had the pitch meeting videos. Okay, those are on their own channel now, but still. WatchMojo's content is so repetitive that you probably didn't know that these videos were from 3 years ago. Anyway, WatchMojo started counting down their favorite YouTubers every year, and Dead Meat has made it into the top 5, 2 years in a row. James and Chelsea in Killer Puzzle. Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle is a game based on the Friday the 13th franchise. In the game, you play as Jason, trying to figure out how to kill each person in a level. You're limited to 4 directions, and you can't stop if there isn't something in front of you. There is a level in the game where you can kill James and Chelsea. They have the same voices as everyone else in the game, but it's still neat. You can also unlock a golden chainsaw. Adam Sandler references. Adam Sandler is a funny comedian known for just horrible movies. Well, James is a big fan of 2 of Sandler's movies in particular, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. So much so that he references them constantly.
Drew climbs out the window right as his mom Amanda gets home, and after he gets in the car, Gus leaps onto the windshield like the Mista Mista lady.
I'm telling you, this place is perfect. You're gonna make friends in no time.
Bet you all wish you had an air conditioner right now, don't you?
You know that Mista lady? I think I just killed her.
On their walk to the exhibit, Walter tells Carla he likes her. Aw, Walter, that's cute. You know, as long as you don't try to rush it or anything.
I want to get married. To you.
You blew it! You blew it! Anyway, when the leprechauns considered their job done, they went back to living in the woods, all except for one little shit who refused to go back home. Are you too good for your home, leprechaun?
Answer me!
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Mario movie cast reaction. There's no way in hell you don't know who Mario is, but screw it. Mario is a series of video games following the misadventures of a plumber named Mario. In 2021, the cast for Nintendo and Illumination's Mario movie was officially announced. Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. Half the internet has already memed this to death, but the point is, James and Chelsea revealed their take on the situation during a filming live stream.
Do you see that they're making an animated Mario movie?
No.
The cast sucks so much.
The
Like
cast
all
sucks.
of Twitter is just like going to town on this movie.
Oh no.
Guess who's playing Mario?
John Leguizamo.
No, that would actually be cool.
Who?
Chris Pratt.
Oh no!
He's not even fucking Italian!
He's
Like,
not
what
even
the
Italian!
Keep in mind, this was over a year before the trailers blew nearly everyone away, and before the movie actually came out and divided everyone. James is a David Bowie fan. David Bowie is a rock star from the 80s who unfortunately died in 2016. James is a big fan.
Oh, hey, speaking of Bowie, History in the Mix asks if I could give some of my top few David Bowie songs. My go-to answer for favorite David Bowie song is Rock and Roll Suicide. I just love the passion in his voice and the way it builds with just a strumming guitar and his vocals, and then it just soars into him screaming with passion and give me your hand, and it's this hopeful message. That's my go-to answer for favorite. Life on Mars is fucking fantastic. Same thing, it's got a nice build to it, that beautiful piano as part of it. I think Changes also has that aspect of just, I love it so much. Fascination is really good off of Young Americans. Black Star is another epic song. That middle part has always really stuck with me. I think it's fucking cool. I don't know, man. I could talk for a long time about this, but many of them. Reanimator was shot in just 3 weeks and released unrated in 1985. It's a speedy little cult classic that delighted many a critic, including Roger Ebert and Pauline Kael. And if DP Mac Allberg is to be believed, it also impressed someone very special to me.
I was doing a movie a few years ago where David Bowie was one of the actors, and David came over to me and said, Mac, I heard you shot Reanimator. That's my favorite movie.
Psycho 1999 running gag. The movie actually came out in 1998, but Neon Jackie confirmed that this was a typo. Psycho is a 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film about a Phoenix secretary who hides in a motel after stealing $40,000. This movie has been parodied so many times that you probably already know most of what happens from there. There's also multiple sequels and reboots that aren't important. What is important is the 1998 remake. This remake is, no exaggeration, a near shot-for-shot, line-for-line copy. It feels more like a college project than an actual movie. Regardless, James and Chelsea bring up the film a lot. There's even a podcast episode about the remake, but no episode for the original. Before we move on, here's an interesting tidbit that I found about Psycho 1998. The film has a very vocal defender by the name of Ty West, the director of You're Next and X.
I know everybody hates it. I think it's brilliant. I've never met Gus Van Sant. He's someone I would like to meet solely to talk about this movie, because I think that it is actually maybe the only studio art film ever made that the studio doesn't know they made. I don't think they ever make art films, but they certainly were convinced into making this one. And I think that it's a really brilliant take on what makes movies great. And I think that in doing it shot for shot of a movie that everyone agrees is brilliant, but everyone hates this movie, doesn't make any sense, because the movie should be exactly as good because it has all the same elements. And it proves a point that no matter who the filmmaker is, if a different person does it, even if they do it for shot, they can't keep the same sort of mysterious energy or life to a film that other filmmaker did. And I think it's an experimental film, and I like to think that I'm on to you, Gus Van Sant, and I hope to talk to you about it one day.
James is a fan of Baby No Money. Baby No Money is a Canadian rapper. James has received multiple comments saying that he looks like him. After James looked up who Baby No Money is, he became a fan of his music, went to his concert, and met him in person. Commentary tracks. Dead Meat does commentary tracks of horror movies. Sometimes they're for movies that are never talked about on the channel. While there is a bedeviled track on YouTube, most of them are exclusive to Patreon. Chucky did James's job for him. Chucky is a supernaturally possessed killer doll and the titular main antagonist of his franchise. In 2021, Chucky had a TV show on the Sci-Fi Channel. At the end of both Season 1 and 2, we see Chucky sitting by a fireplace. He proceeds to count every kill in the season and then give a hint as to what will happen in the next season. When Dead Meat made the Chucky Season 1 kill count, James compared his numbers to Chucky's. Chucky counted 21 victims, while James counted 34. Chucky's errors included counting the cat, missing some background bodies in the theater, not counting the multiple Chucky deaths, crediting himself with killing Logan when it was mostly Junior, and not counting any of the kills that happened in the flashbacks. James also says that Chucky shouldn't have counted the explosion since we never see any confirmation that Kyle died, and it's even implied that Kyle, or someone with the same glove, is keeping an eye on Jake, Devin, and Lexi. While Season 2 does reveal that Kyle is alive and the gloved watcher, I think Chucky might have been counting the Chucky head that was still kicking before the C4 went off. James and Chucky's numbers will likely be compared again for the kill count for Chucky Season 2. And 3 when it comes out. Fan-made thumbnails. Sometimes people make their own fake kill count thumbnails for fun. They are usually posted on either the Dead Meat subreddit or on Twitter by the Fake Kill Count Thumbnails account. Or Fake Scott the Waz thumbnails. I should mention that the subreddit only allows fan-made thumbnails on weekends. Responding to comments videos. James has a couple videos in which he responds to comments. Nowadays, he responds to comments during live streams. Halloween 2007 less graphic kill count. In 2007, Rob Zombie remade Halloween, the story of an escaped mental patient who goes on a killing spree. Like a lot of horror movies from this era, Rob Zombie's Halloween is incredibly violent, meaning that the kill count had to cut some things. A month after this kill count was uploaded, Dead Meat re-released it with slightly more gore and a couple more lines.
It's simple in its brutality, and Michael is totally remorseless as he does it. This one truly feels like the origin kill for Michael Myers as we know him. It's simple in its brutality, and Michael is totally remorseless as he does it. Unlike the more emotional Wesley kill, this one truly feels like the origin kill for Michael Myers as we know him.
James released this recut as an experiment because, at the time, there was some stuff going on with the videos on YouTube. James has covered a Scooby-Doo movie. Scooby-Doo is the long-running franchise about a group of teens/young adults solving mysteries that usually aren't supernatural. Obligatory mention of Velma aside, Scooby-Doo can be considered horror. Thus, in 2019, James and Chelsea covered Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, the same year the sequel came out. Though James hasn't made a kill count for it yet. James won't cover Overlord. Overlord is a revisionist World War II movie about a group of soldiers led by Wyatt Russell. Their mission is to destroy a Nazi radio tower so that D-Day will happen. But the radio tower sits upon a building containing a lab full of horrifying experiments. James and Chelsea enjoyed this movie and did a podcast episode about it. However, a kill count likely won't happen due to the battle scenes at the beginning being next to impossible to count. In Search of Darkness. In Search of Darkness is a trilogy of documentaries about 80s horror and its impact. James and Chelsea are in the first film, as well as having an official Dead Meat Collector's Edition. Bride of Reanimator Kill Count Outro. The Reanimator films follow a scientist who created a goo that can bring the dead back to life, kinda. In the outro for the Bride of Reanimator Kill Count, James and Chelsea announced that they were engaged. Their reasoning for this was pretty obvious. I mean, the second they saw the title, they thought, let's do that. Create a Killer. Create a Killer is yet another discontinued series. This one would have had James and or Chelsea interview an icon of horror and have them create a horror villain of their own. The horror villain in question would be drawn by YouTube animator Tell It Animated. The only 2 episodes were meant as pilots, which is why James is interviewing Chelsea in the first one and Chelsea is interviewing James in the second one. Lucy the Cat on Twitter. Lucy the Cat has a Twitter account. It's what you'd expect. James's Scream. This.
Fortnite. Not the game.
Predator. The Predator franchise follows aliens that hunt for sport. The movies in order are Predator, Predator 2, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Predators, The Predator, and Prey. You may have noticed that they gave up on numbers after 2. I guess it would be confusing if they called Predators Predator 3 when there were 2 Alien vs. Predator movies in between. Regardless, Chelsea thought of another title for Predators.
It was fun to have both of them for the Predators video, and maybe... Yeah, the third one is just Predator. There's Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator. Predator, holy sh...
Pengualien. The xenomorph aliens from the Alien franchise are born from a creature called a facehugger. Facehuggers give birth by latching onto someone, or something's face, and planting an egg down their throat into their stomach. When the egg hatches, the xenomorph bursts out of the host's stomach, killing them. The xenomorph will also have similar DNA to whatever creature it emerges from. The xenomorph will then grow into an adult in a matter of hours. If the xenomorph is born into a queen, it can lay facehugger eggs, causing the cycle to repeat. In Alien vs. Predator, a xenomorph fights a predator. Before any killings happen, the humans discover a penguin. In the Alien vs. Predator kill count, James suggested the idea of a facehugger latching onto a penguin. This would then create an alien-penguin hybrid. A pengualien, if you will. Then someone made it in Photoshop. AVP Requiem 2007 title error. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem is about a predator, a bunch of aliens, and a predalien fighting each other and killing some humans. When the kill count for Aliens vs. Predator Requiem was released, there was a mistake. It was titled just Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, and nothing else. As if what the video was the movie rather than a video about the movie. You can tell this by looking at the automatic Reddit post of the kill count on r/deadmeatjames. This was eventually fixed. Time for some things you/NeonJackie84 either missed or would have put in if this iceberg was created at a later date. That's nice. That's nice is another catchphrase belonging to James A. Janice. He says it whenever something endearing happens.
His goddess of a wife is Cindy, played by Sterling Cooper office manager Christina Hendricks. Oh, and cool, they're a couple who actually likes each other. That's nice. Russ finishes what he started and drills Jeff to death. It's off screen, but it does have some artistic blood creeping underneath the door, so that's nice. Mistake and Angel are getting some quality sibling time together.
I love you. I love you too.
Aw, that's nice.
Hey everybody, thanks a lot for watching this supercut of Aw, that's nice. For anyone wondering where that came from, I'm pretty sure it's a combination that happened in my brain of a line from Billy Madison.
That's nice.
And a similar line often said by Shirley in Community.
Oh, that's nice.
I think I kind of combined those and then made it my own thing and then said it enough times for a supercut. Oh, they're real nice. Alright, that's it.
No! The Dead Meat Horror Awards. The Dead Meat Horror Awards is an annual award show hosted by James and Chelsea. Debuting in 2022, the show was meant to give horror movies the attention that most award shows didn't give. While the Dead Meat Horror Awards doesn't have the same budget as the more famous award shows, it's nowhere near a low production. There's a lot of big names here. And it still looks better than the 420 Awards. Now all we need is an award show specific for animation. The WGA and SAG-AFTRA strike. In May of this year, the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Their motives were not getting fair wages and Hollywood glossing over the concerns of AI stealing their jobs. Due to the strike, new projects can't be written, projects that were still in the writing phase had to be delayed indefinitely, and projects that were in the filming stage can't receive any rewrites, including improvising. Rather than coming to a reasonable agreement, executives wish to wait it out until the writers lose their homes. What the f***? 2 months later, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, decided to join the strike. Their motivation was, again, not getting fair wages.
We got to hold strong till we get a deal that's fair for working actors. It's the difference between having health care and not for a lot of actors, and we got to do what's right by them.
And not wanting AI to take over their jobs.
But this groundbreaking AI proposal that they gave us yesterday, in that groundbreaking AI proposal, they proposed that our background performers should be able to be scanned, get paid for 1 day's pay, and their company should own that scan, their image, their likeness, and should be able to use it for the rest of eternity in any project they want with no consent and no compensation. So if you think that's a groundbreaking proposal, I suggest you think again.
Keep in mind, not every actor is a world-famous millionaire. A lot of actors are out of work or stuck being an extra. Since it's pretty much impossible to make a movie without an actor or writer, Hollywood has been shut down, putting nearly every project on hold indefinitely. And the studios are still treating this like a game of Say Uncle. Due to the strike, actors are no longer allowed to promote their upcoming movies. Here's where Dead Meat comes in. Reviewers and entertainment journalists, union, SAG, or independent, can still publicly talk about movies and TV as long as they don't accept any sponsorships. Despite this, the Dead Meat team wishes to fully support the strike due to moral obligation and James and Chelsea technically being SAG-E members. Since they wanted to support the strike, they asked a SAG representative how to proceed while fully supporting them. The representative said to fulfill any previously agreed to sponsorship contract. This means that after the planned kill count schedule goes up to the end of August, Dead Meat will no longer be covering anything made by Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producer Studios until the strike ends. This means that after the planned kill count schedule that goes up to the end of August, Dead Meat will not be covering anything made by Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producer Studios until the strike ends. Dead Meat will still put stuff out, but it will be non-struck work, such as indie movies, foreign films, and possibly other kinds of media. Pre-Game. Pre-Game is the name of the horror movie that the Dead Meat team has put into production. The plot, as explained by the crew, will follow 5 former housemates who go to their rival's campus before the night of the big game. But while there, they accidentally awaken a curse that brings to life their long-deceased coach and turns everyone around them into sports-obsessed demons. The group must now fight for their lives and deal with some drama or something. It sounds like it's supposed to be a commentary on sports rivalries. Pre-game's announcement video also included a rough draft of the first scene. I must say, the cinematography is impressive. Almost the entire scene is one long tracking shot. The Dead Meat team is hoping to fund it a traditional way without using Kickstarter and have the movie be released in theaters. Pre-game currently doesn't have a release date, and there hasn't been any news since November 26th, 2022. Considering the fact that there is currently a writer's strike and an actor's strike, the film has likely been put on hold indefinitely. Scream 5 and 6. Each Scream movie has our heroine tormented by Ghostface, a killer who is particularly aware of the rules and tropes of horror. 2022's Scream 5 was created by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, Tyler Gillette, and Chad Villella of Radio Silence, the same team behind the 10/31/98 segment of VHS and Ready or Not. When Dead Meat made the kill count for Ready or Not, it got copyright claimed. However, an unexpected hero came to the rescue.
Well, yeah, it's been great. And in case anyone didn't know, when I made the Ready or Not kill count and it got like copyright claimed, I can't believe that you like
That was so crazy.
that was mind blowing that you like saw that.
We love kill count, and it was like that thing that we saw you were doing it, and I just remember checking like, oh, is it out? Yeah, I want to watch. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And we are not social media guys. Like we have a Twitter account that we had not used for years.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess we'll step back into Twitter for a moment.
Oh my God.
We also haven't come from
catfished for a second.
And coming from YouTube, like we've been there, where you just want to release something that you love and you're proud of, and then there's some weird like bullshit red tape. And that's,
yeah, man, it's like I did all the work,
aggravating than
and
that.
now it's held up by things out of my control. It's rough.
Thanks for doing that, though.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. And again, I everything I said in that video was before we ever communicated directly, so I wasn't just like praising my friends' work or something.
As their way of saying thank you, James and Chelsea invited the Radio Silence team to the Dead Meat set for an interview, which is the clip you just saw, and invited them to their wedding. A few months later, Radio Silence texted James and Chelsea about an offer. The offer was to have a cameo in Scream 5. They gladly accepted, resulting in one of the most surprising cameos I've ever seen.
And don't even get me started on Ghostface's signature new weapon.
And can we talk about the title? Stab? What, just like the original? Just call it Stab 8. It's fucking Stab 8. You're not fooling anyone. It's just such bullshit.
Jesus Christ, where have you been? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You know, Mindy Girl wasn't kidding.
Stab 8 is not like the others.
Richie.
I mean, no connection to the other movies, no legacy characters at all.
Richie.
I mean, if you ask me, this whole franchise goes off the rails with number 5.
Richie.
Fun fact, before seeing Scream 5 with my cousin, I showed him Dead Meat's kill counts for the first 4 films to help him catch up. I had no idea that James would be in the movie. By the way, does anyone else think that Richie from Scream 5 vaguely resembles Ryan Kennel? While James and Chelsea weren't in Scream 6, there were a couple Dead Meat Easter eggs.
Did you guys see you have a couple little Easter eggy things in
We
the
saw
movie.
the VHS.
The VHS. It was
Saw
so
the
funny. The
VHS.
first time I did not notice because I was just so excited to see the OG Invasion of the Body Snatchers on the TV. So I'm just sitting there watching that, completely miss the.
Yeah, I love that the therapist, he's watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then on his TV stand, just the single VHS of Dead Meat. He's like, he's going to watch that, and then he's going to watch some podcasts and kill counts, and then that's his night.
Yeah.
It's also hilarious because if you just look at that scene, there's no dialogue. And so we thought it was so funny, almost to the point of too stupid to put in the movie, but you're next, you're next. Literally the TV yelling at it. And then the other thing in that scene is your guys' VHS. Dead Meat, and we're just like double foreshadowing here.
Yeah, we love the nods to some of our favorite podcasts. Last podcast on the left
was
in
on
there,
there.
and then we're good friends with the We Hate Movies boys, and we were so excited to see
texting
their
them
posts. Yeah, we were like, you guys made it.
Yeah.
Also, No Dogs in Space. Shout out to No Dogs in Space. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No,
I'm not.
One of the best music podcasts. Also on the Lost Podcast Network.
Okay.
So good. We basically called up all of the podcasts we like, and we're like, "Hey, can we get shit?"
Yeah, was that you guys or the production designer or?
Oh, that was us.
Yeah.
Wait, but there's Ice Nine Kills on the fridge.
Of course, Spencer. Yeah.
Right.
He was very excited about
That's
that.
you guys deserve credit for that being on there because we met Spencer at your wedding.
Yeah, and then you went and did
become
karaoke
friendly
after.
Yeah, you guys did karaoke
I
together.
have with the most FOMO about that.
It's like, cool, we got married, but they did karaoke.
I know, that sounds
surreal
so
night,
fun.
guys.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, we gotta have a makeup night. So yeah, thank you for the special thanks in there in the credits.
Oh, man.
We don't know what we did for it, but we'll take it. That'll be an
Well, you
IMDb
provided
credit.
the VHS, and then you guys are there's a brief moment of you on this on the TV as well in the apartment scene. It's again a like very blurry, sort of deep background.
Oh wait, I didn't see that.
Oh, I
Wait,
didn't
what?
either.
Okay, so in which scene is it?
It's as Ghostface attacks in the apartment, and Sam is gathering Annika and Mindy, and they're running into the bedroom. It's very deep background, very blurry, but one of your shorts is playing on the.
Which one is it? What'd you go with? Because we sent you a bunch.
No, it was the one. I think it was a piece from the financing, the video you guys put together.
Pregame?
Oh, pregame?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, now we just have to see it a third time.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And that was the iceberg. Sorry that this video is late. It was supposed to come out by the end of June. It didn't. Then I said, oh, it'll be out by the end of July, and it didn't. We're close to the beginning of August, though, and guess what? I still made my big, long video before Southpaw made his big, long video. So, take that. But, yeah, the next iceberg video will probably be like, I don't know, either Back to the Future or Lego Dimensions. It's kind of what's on my mind. But right now I'm just fucking tired, so thank you all for watching and be good people.